Welcome to another video. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about high vibe habits and why should you even care about them. So again, I've got my little cue cards. So what I want you to think about is where you are in life right now. Again, we're on this doorway to your second act. And I really believe that high vibe habits are a doorway for you to move through and to step into the second act where like right now you feel like there's a shift, like something's coming. Do you feel that? Like you're ready for something, you just don't know what. And you kind of almost sense that door, like a breakthrough is it's coming. And that's what I think high vibe habits are really a chance for you to start to taste what's coming for you in this next act. And that's what we're going to be spending our time with today. And I want you to feel like, at this point in your life, you don't need an overhaul. You don't need to change everything because that's too much and it's overwhelming and you're already busy. You've already got a lot going on. But what we need to do is shift and move into a new direction. And I really believe that high vibe habits are a way for you to do that, to make that little shift come through. And remember, in this second act that we're moving into, we're no longer focusing on money. We're focusing on energy. Energy is our currency and hence the high vibe habits. That's why we want to focus on starting to shift your mind to think about what is it that you're going to need in the second act. You're not going to need more money. You need more energy. And yes, when you have more energy, money does come, which is really cool. But it's really the chance to change your thinking and to shift to this new currency, the new way that you're going to have success, the way you're going to redefine success in this next chapter is really through not only having more energy, but knowing that you can generate more energy. And that's what I'm really talking about when I talk about high vibe habits being a doorway. They're the thing that's going to help you learn to generate energy. So what exactly are high vibe energy habits? And, how do you kind of integrate them into your life? Because if you've ever been like me, like I've tried so many times to come up with habits and they just don't stick. And even though I know the reasoning for them, they just don't stick. And part of the reason is that a lot of times we make them too big, too hard to step into. So when we're talking about these high vibe habits, first of all, they're things that will help you step out of a slump, an energy slump. And we'll talk a little bit about what those are throughout the day. But as you're looking at these habits, you're like, what's going to get me out of this slump quickly and easily? And that it's something so small. So we're talking a few seconds to jump you out of one energy frame into another, a higher vibration energy frame. So high vibe habits are those things, those little quick instant things that you can do that will get you out of a slump. And I propose to you that the best high vibe habits are ones that use your body. When you move your body in a certain way, in a new way, in a high energy way. And the smallest shift, I want you just as you're sitting here watching this video, the smallest shift, it's a Tony Robbins thing, is like this 2 millimeters shift, just raising your jaw. So as you're sitting here watching this movie, just do this and raise it just the littlest bit, and you'll start to feel your energy already shift. And you don't realize, again, all day you're kind of doing this, even though it might not be as dramatic as what I'm doing. Your head is coming down, your shoulders are coming forward. So just the littlest bit, and you'll start to feel your energy change. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about high vibe energy habits. Is just this littlest shift that causes a change in your physiology because energy comes from your body. It's sort of something you generate within your body. So as you're thinking about habits to try, those are what you think about as ones that are grounded in your body. So like when you feel that tension coming up before a meeting, you take a deep breath again. And when you take a deep breath, automatically your shoulders go back and your head comes up. It's just, you feel that expansion through your chest and your torso. And again, your jaw just goes up. There's the littlest bit. It doesn't have to be this dramatic thing where everybody in the room's looking at you. And you'll feel the tension start to slip away. That's a habit right there. If you could start to do that whenever you feel this happening, you go like this, it changes things. Another thing you could do when you're here in private, you don't have people around, just a couple jumping jacks. I mean, literally 10 seconds of jumping jacks is enough to raise your energy. So if you're feeling like you're going into that food coma after lunch or something, and you just did 10 jumping jacks where nobody could see you, or even 10 full body squats, again, it's something that will raise that vibration, raise the energy in your body, and all of a sudden you feel more energy. Another thing you could do if you're not so much able to move your body is just to be thinking about gratitude. Like when you start to feel negativity creeping in, is just to look around you again, using your eyes, just look around you and say, what can I be grateful for right in this immediate surrounding? Like, okay, there's the instant, the roof over your head. If you're sitting at your job, it's like, I have a job and I actually like some of my coworkers. Oh, and I have some tools that I really need to do my job. And I've learned so much in my job. And if you could just spend, again, 10, 15 seconds going through things that you're grateful for and what you can see around you immediately, you'll start to feel your energy shift. Instead of focusing on all the negative and all the things that are going wrong and all the things you don't want to do right now, if you just focus on the tools that you have, the people around you, the fact that the paycheck comes in and all the things that that paycheck has allowed you to do. I used to think about all the points I would get because I'd have to do all these meetings, and I was like, I was a meeting planner. And so the meetings were getting to be a drain, but then I was like, all the points I'm earning allow my family to go on vacation. And how cool is that? So just having that mental shift of saying, okay, I don't really want to plan this meeting right now, but the payoff is worth it to me. And I can find some gratitude in the things that I get to do with my family as a result of the work I'm doing in the office. Having a song for me, that song is "Walking on Sunshine" by Katrina and the Waves. I am an '80s girl. I can't help it. But that there's just even like kind of bebopping in my head. I don't need any, I don't need to play it. I know it so well, but just the chorus and just bebopping, all of a sudden I can feel my energy rising. So if you're feeling the blahs, have a go-to song in your head. You're like, anytime I hear this song, it just raises my vibration. And another one I want to give you is hugging someone. I don't know what it is, but once you hug someone, or you can even hug a pet if you have to, it just changes your vibration. And these are little instant things that you can do that don't cost you anything and you don't have to plan ahead for them. They involve your body for the most part, either you're using your eyes or you're hugging someone. Like it just changes your whole vibration and it lights you up. So I want you to be thinking about those. So, why do they work? Why does having a high vibe habit really work for you? Again, we talked about it raising your energy, making you feel so much better. But here's what really is happening as you're doing these vibes, you're stacking up evidence that you have the ability to change your vibration in an instant. So it's not something that you're doing abstract and thinking about it. It's like you're actually doing something and you're feeling the instant results. And that builds trust in your ability to say, you know what, I am in control of my vibration. I am in control of how I feel right now. And I could shift it quickly. And you keep stacking up these little pieces of evidence. And as you do, you rewire your emotional set point. Like we all have a set point, right? Where we kind of live at, right? And you may have lived, you may have two different set points, one for when you're at work and one from when you're not at work. But you have this point, and it again, it's your vibe is affecting everybody around you. And so they're also affecting your vibe. So if you have people around you that are dragging you down, you have negative situations, you have tense situations, you have an emotional set point at work that says, this is where I live. Again, you can see my shoulders going in because it's like you have this negativity, this bias that says my set point has to be down here. And as you do these high vibe things, you break through that, right? You start to feel your energy light back up. Your eyes become alive. They raise just again, just a millimeter of your eyes opening wider, and you're feeling less defensive. And as you do that, as you stack up instances of feeling like number one, I'm in control. Number two, I can trust myself to do these things. You start to raise that set point. Your emotional set point becomes higher and higher. And now it's like that thermostat runs at a slightly warmer temperature, and you get to bring that vibration to everybody around you. So you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for your coworkers, you're doing it for your family who are going to be affected by your vibe, by that raising of your vibration. And again, I'm Julianne Price with Life Edit and Design. And that is my mission, is to help you and women like you redefine success, move into this next chapter of life, and really do it with this high vibration in mind. Because as we vibe higher, we affect everybody around us. And that ripple just goes on and on and on. And we'll never know how that ripple, how us feeling better is affecting our coworker, who's affecting their family, who's affecting someone else that they're in relationship with. We'll never see the effects of our ripple, but that's my mission, is if I get you to ripple higher and then together we ripple higher, we're going to affect our families and the people around us. And that's how we're going to heal our planet, by becoming happier people. I love that. If you remember Legally Blonde, there's a line in the movie where she says, this is Legally Blonde too. Reese Witherspoon says, happy people don't kill their husbands. Like happy people do better things on this planet. And that is my mission, is to have you raise your vibration, because happier people are going to do better things. And we need it desperately right now. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're just in this quagmire of low vibration, you're in the right place, because that's all we talk about, is how to raise your vibration. So what is your action step from this session or this video? And it's just to find one high vibe habit and start doing it. Because again, once you start to stack up the evidence, you're going to start to realize the things that are possible for you. We're talking about one minuscule habit, but it's what leads to, we talked about before, it's the doorway to this second act, to having energy as your currency, because you can start to feel like, wow, I feel so much better because I started to do just this little shift. And then you start to see how it ripples out into all of your life. And like, well, what else can I do better with just small shifts? And what else can I do better when I have the energy and I feel good? So as you're looking for your high vibe habit, look for something that's number one, doable. Don't make it complicated. Make it simple, make it doable, make it something memorable, because you don't want a habit that you forget to do. And find, applicable, like find a trigger. Like, is it that you're in meetings a lot and you constantly know that the tension is going to be there in that meeting, the stakes are high? Like, then attach the high vibe habit to what you do right before you walk into that meeting. Or if you're in the meeting and you feel the tension rising, what is something you can do that nobody else has to know that you're doing? Again, it can be just raising your jaw just that little bit and putting your shoulders and taking one big breath that like nobody has to know that you're doing. Or you could be singing the song in your head, just like something that raises your vibration, or thinking of a very funny scene. Laughter is a great thing. And you don't want to crack up in a meeting, but if again, if traffic is something that stresses you out, maybe you have a playlist that you just kind of bebop to on the way home. Like, find that trigger. What is that thing that always causes a lowering of your vibration? Maybe it's a person, a situation, a place, whatever. Just find that one trigger and focus on that. And what I want you to do is try to find 7 to 10 reps of that trigger and that relief session, that habit throughout the week. So your goal throughout the week is to have used this high vibe habit at least 7 to 10 times. So pick a situation that you know recurs and find something simple and work on just getting that evidence stack going, because the more you trust yourself, the more you're going to be able to move into that second act and really redefine what success means, because you're going to have the energy to go after your dreams. And that's how we start. Like, our goal is to go after the dreams, but the way that we do that is by raising our energy. And if you haven't watched the last video I recorded, which is all about how to do an energy audit, and I have a free energy audit for you, I'll put the links down below. And it's a chance for you to really not only assess your energy, but also to look at who you are. We look at the archetypes of how you operate in the world, and we connect that to your energy audit. And I do a free report for you. And this isn't like some cheesy freebie. This is me actually sitting down, looking at your results and analyzing it and coming back to you with like, here's some insight as to how you operate and how your energy is affecting how you operate, and what could be the next steps for you in your second act. So this is a very customized, tailored, high touch report that I do for you. Again, it's free. You can go and find it in the links below. And I hope that you are ready to at least give this a try. Again, keep it small and give it action that you can do within your body. That's the key. All right, we'll see you in the next one.